Looking forward to next week. We have the first place Seattle Seahawks coming to town. Geno Smith. He didn't answer.
Oh God. He said, I didn't write back. I didn't write back.
They wrote him off, but he didn't write back.
I ain't write back.
That was, dude, I'm not gonna lie, that was the hardest line.
That was pretty hard to count.
That was hard. Yeah, him and Shelby Harris swagging out, talking shit. They earned that win against the Broncos, even though I say the Broncos mostly gave that win to them with some terrible, chef kiss, terrible decision making by their new head coach. What did you think about their game?
Dude, I'm glad that Seahawks won the Pete Carroll revenge game. Let Russ cook. No, Russ cooking sucks. Let's go.
Let Geno cook. Geno cooking.
But like one takeaway that I had was like, dude, if you like take away Geno Smith and you insert Jimmy G into that Seahawks offense, like Geno had some pretty good little rollouts, some easy, that touchdown pass he had was pretty nice. I'm like, Jimmy G could do all that and a little bit more. Like Seahawks might be pushing for a wild card spot if they had Jimmy G. But like, again, like this was the Pete Carroll revenge game. You know, he wanted this so bad and they like emptied the fucking tank on this. It was a 1-point game and they needed 2 like fumbles within the 5-yard line to win it. Like, I don't know how
and
like
a questionable decision to end the game too.
True. So
4th and 5.
How effective are they going to be moving forward? They really don't have a lot of talent as far as they had like Kobe with a C, Kobe Bryant, and Michael Jackson out there on their as their corners. I just don't know like if they're going to be able to compete with the talent that the 49ers have.
Yeah, I saw that game as a Pete Carroll is unloading the clip. Geno Smith started, what was he, 10 for 10 to start the game?
I think he was something.
It was like 14.
I think
14
he ended up like 17 of 18 at one point. But yeah, he did really
either
well.
Either way, he had the best start over Russell Wilson as a Seahawks quarterback. He had the most consecutive completions to start a game, which was impressive. The guy looked sharp out there. And I saw that first touchdown to Hollister, I believe. That was a little bit of a dink, and no one's here because everyone's covering downfield. So it wasn't the most impressive touchdown in my eyes. And they only put up 17 points. This isn't like a dominant showing of the Seahawks offense. The 49ers defense is better than the Broncos. Look at Ufanga. Would you say Ward was good?
I would say he was pretty good. Again, it gets weird when you talk about like the weather in the game, and there was just so many mistakes. The biggest donkey is Dre Greenlaw. So he needs to have a redemption.
I had such high hopes for Dre Greenlaw going into this game, and man, he just laid an egg. I think he's going to be better, obviously, but you can't have dumb penalties, dumb mistakes given up like that.
And you know what, too? I'm not going to let the defensive line slide either. Like, they needed to be better. They started off the first half, like, getting after it, bro. But, like, the second half, I don't even think they had a sack, dude. It was, like, crazy. For long periods of time, there was just no pressure on Fields.
And that touchdown to Dante Pettis, you can't give a quarterback that much time. You let him roll out and just, like, sit on that side of the field for 10 seconds. Obviously, everyone's going to be running to him because he's a mobile quarterback. And then Dante Pettis just sitting there in the flat. And what normally would be a terrible throw across his body, across the field, no one's there. So that's on the defensive line more than the coverage team to me, because you let him have so much time.
Yeah,
we can't let that happen.
Again, more talented than what the Broncos had. So I think that.
And you said
tighten up these screws.
You said someone went on IR.
Oh, Jordan Willis went on IR.
But we bring up Teray, who looked great in the preseason. couldn't make the roster, but kept on the practice squad. And yeah, we're looking forward to seeing this guy on the field.
Honestly, I think he's more talented than Jordan Willis, but
Yeah, I think
I think
so.
you had to put Jordan Willis on the roster. He's a playoff hero. He was with the team last year. I think you just gotta give him that spot. But I'm excited that Teray has moved up, and I think he's gonna get after it.
Yeah, and as far as the line matchup against the Seahawks, I'm not as scared of them, even though they do have Shelby Harris, who could he could do some damage in the middle of our offensive line. I feel better about that matchup than I did going into this Bears matchup. And our defensive line, I think, is going to be amazing compared to their offensive line again, which is going to be the case most weeks. You know, going in, we better have the edge because that's our bread and butter right there. But Nick Bosa is going to eat this week.
Yeah. And the only thing is, like, this is a Pete Carroll Seahawks team. You know, they don't care who the opponent is, especially if it's in the division. They will scrap. So you cannot make the same mistakes as last week. You cannot keep them in the game. As soon as you hit the field, you have to have the pedal to the metal and let's get a lead. Let's get a lead fast.
Yeah, if we play from ahead, I think it's going to be hard to beat this 49ers team because we can run the ball well. And this defense is just going to pin their ears back and come after you every play. I think, do you think this is going to be a Geno Smith coming out party or a Geno Smith come back to earth situation?
I think he's going to be a little bit of a comeback to earth. I think, again, because it was such a big game, because it was Monday Night Football, nationally televised, and you get a little bit of that adrenaline dump. You're one day behind. So I think they're going to come out a little bit flat because they're coming off such a high win. So I think regardless, they're going to have, a little something missing there. So we got to take advantage of that. We got to get off to a fast start and just stick to it. Just press it.
Yeah, as far as this game against them coming up, I think me and you talked about it earlier off camera. Different sides of the coin here, where I think Seahawks just had their Super Bowl. Their game against the Broncos was their fucking Super Bowl for the year. They unloaded everything. They blew their load. They're coming in here, gonna be hopefully coming down from a high. The 49ers didn't showcase much plays on offense. Kyle didn't really do anything crazy. He's gonna come into this game hopefully hungry to make a statement, and he's ready to unload everything on the offensive side of the ball. So I think it's just a disparity between those two teams where we should have the upper hand, and we have a week's worth of tape now on Geno Smith, which we shouldn't be worried in the first place about Geno, but he had a good game. Credit to him. We have film on him now. Let's see how they do after we, saw what they were able to do week one.
Yeah, and I mean they weren't the deepest in the secondary to begin with, but now they are missing, the high ticket acquisition, as good or as bad as he is Jamal Adams. You know what I mean?
Does Jamal Adams have to be like one of the worst trades of all time?
It has to be up there, dude. I mean, not just the trade, but the contract and the fact that you can't even really expect this guy who is a secondary player who should be like around the ball, at least have some pass breakups, maybe a pick or two. But like, what does he have? Like one interception in his entire career? Like, this is pretty bad, bro.
Okay. So the trade turned into Bradley McDougall, who is a starting safety, and Elijah Vera Tucker, a lineman at a USC, and Garrett Wilson at Ohio State. So, and a third round pick. Who did the third round pick become? Doesn't say who the third round pick is.
Oh, well, but that's already better than what you have in Jamal Adams. They should just push him down, make him a linebacker.
Yeah, because this guy can't cover.
I mean, his best trait is being able to rush the passer. How is that your best trait when you're a fucking safety?
When we play against them, they want Kittle to play against Jamal Adams. Let's see, in 2020, no interceptions on the Seahawks. 2021, he had his career year, 2 interceptions. And this year, no interceptions, obviously. So you traded basically 2 first round picks, a third round pick, and a starting player for 31 tackles last year, or 87 total. In 2020, he had 9.5 sacks, which is pretty amazing, but that's not what you got him to do. You got him to play safety, not be a defensive end. So I don't know, man. He's injured now. I think to me, what makes it a terrible trade is you didn't have to pay him. Like, if you saw that he's not great at what he's supposed to do, just take the L and don't pay him. But I think they wanted to save face and look like, oh yeah, we gave up all this stuff, but he's still on the team, so we have to pay him what he wants.
He's a glue guy. He brings, the atmosphere. He brings the
which now you look even more dumb because you paid him and he's not even playing. So
yeah, but
bad marks all around.
Yeah, all that to say, I think the 49ers do have a bounce back game. I think they win it. I think Kyle Shanahan has a bounce back game. I think he showcases like, hey, I'm still top dog around here.
Yeah, I agree. I think we're looking for a huge bounce back game for the 49ers. Trey Lance gonna look better. Hopefully we find the end zone. Hopefully find the end zone a lot more. Hopefully find the end zone a lot more than we did last game, and the run game gets going to really help out this young quarterback who is trying to play that game manager role. And he looked the part a little bit last week. Everything kind of crumbled around him. So we got to do a better job of like keeping the world together for this guy. And we already took a look at the betting lines. It is ridiculous. Going off of last week, we did not make our bet, but look forward to...
we should... Yeah, I'm going to stop you right there. We should have fucking had it, dude. That was bullshit. The bet was 49ers -7. And again, before half, they should have been up 3 scores. It was ridiculous. They were dominating that entire game.
Before you go off, I just want to say this is our full podcast, but we do have now exclusive YouTube content, which will be where we discuss all of our gambling picks for the 49ers. We will be discussing every week going to the game our 49ers diamond pick of the week. One bet on the 49ers. Could be a prop bet. Could be cover the spread, could be straight up win, could be against the 49ers. The Seahawks are like plus 300 this week. Am I right?
Plus 320.
So that, interesting bet there. Gino, what's good? I ain't writing you off. I'm writing a check. But yeah, look forward to that YouTube exclusive content if you're into gambling and you want to bet with us.
So go ahead and hit that channel. Go ahead and follow, subscribe, like, comment, all that good stuff. It really helps us as far as the algorithm.
Yeah, links in the description as always, and in the information for this show on whatever audio platform you're listening to. YouTube link. Click it. Come make some money with us because we're gonna win the bet next week. I guarantee it. Would you bet on that? All right, man. I think that's all we got for today.
Yep, sounds good to me.